Hey, welcome to the My Inner Struggle podcast. I'm your host, Laura Ferry. Welcome to episode 60. I watched a woman build a little stand outside of her house over the course of a few weeks, painting it, decorating it, getting it just right. And then one day she opened it up. And the next day too. But then nothing. She was gone. And it reminded me of a version of myself I know well. The version who put everything into the launch, emotionally, physically, financially, and then sat there heartbroken when no one signed up. Today, I want to talk about that. I want to talk about what it really takes to build something sustainable, about the moments that feel like failure and why I'm doing things differently now, and everything that happened in between. Take a breath, pour your coffee, and come get uncomfortable with me. Hey, welcome. I'm so glad that you're here. This is episode 60, which is kind of crazy when I think about it. I don't know if it feels like I've done more of these or not as many. I don't even know. I'm actually drinking tea today because my allergies are killing me, and this is an awesome blend that someone just gave to me, and it's a honey lavender tea. And I never thought I'd be into lavender because I don't like drinking flowers, but lately, I think it was my oldest daughter that had something with lavender in it, and she let me taste it, and I was like, "Oh, this is really good." It's like not drinking like flowers. So I've been enjoying that, and it's really helping today with the allergy vibe that I've got going on this week. So welcome. I'm glad that you're here. I've been doing a lot of transition lately, and I'm definitely not the same version that I was when I started this podcast, when I started the blog for sure, when I wrote my book, or when I've done any of the other things, and when I rebooted my business. And so I wanted to talk about not about like sales, but about the different versions of us that happen or occur when we are building a business or when we're growing, period. You don't have to be a business owner or want to own your own business in order to get anything out of this, because it all just ties together. In the opening, I kind of used that analogy of that stand on the side of the road. And I think it was last summer, honestly, that I was kind of traveling this way a few days a week. I won't say where because I don't want to oust anybody, but it's pretty local. And it was kind of neat to watch. I don't know who built the structure, but it was like a wood structure, and it was like a stand of some kind. And I was like, oh, she's going to sell something there. And so it was all of a sudden it was being worked on, and then it was constructed, and then she painted it. And then you could tell it was, she was sanding it down and working on it for a couple weeks. And then literally it was 3 days that she was out there. Cause that week I happened to be kind of going back and forth that way. And then she was gone. Then it all got taken down. And then like a week later, the stand went away. And as I was thinking about doing this, I was thinking I might get comments like, well, why didn't you stop? And I don't remember why I didn't stop. But I do know in business, they say it takes like 7 touches or times or contacts in order for someone to actually buy something. So the analogy that I wanted to use is basically like, you could put all of your energy, all of your everything into this launch or whatever it is that you're doing. And people might not be showing up like, here, take my money. And that's okay. So I thought this analogy was good for that because I did use it in the blog once before and it made sense. We can't just show up, do all the work, show up once and expect everything to change. Sometimes it does. Most of the time it doesn't. It takes consistency. But it's those lessons that you learn in between that. And I had a coach that I was working with 2 years or a year and a half ago, Jay Cardiello. And I was at a really dark point in my own personal growth. And maybe I don't want to say the dark point because I was growing a lot, but I was kind of rediscovering what direction I was going in. I was in financial ruin, and that is major stress, especially as a single mom, no backup. There's nothing else that I can rely on behind me. And it's all up to me. I have these 3 children that I have to take care of. I have to keep a roof over their head. And I was at a really, really low point. And I remember Jay saying to me, like, even in those moments when you try to do all of those things, the launch, I did this launch to reboot my business and start the coaching part of it on my own. And I had, a handful of people show up to my launch, which I was super excited about, but I really thought it was going to be this like big, big thing. And I wasn't disappointed in the end. I was really glad that it was only a handful because I don't know that I could have handled more than that in that moment. So when we kind of change our perception and look at it more from a gratitude standpoint, it really, really changes things. So we think about it in that perspective, but then also, what did we learn through this process, or how would I have done it differently? You have to kind of look at it that it's a reflection. And when you are looking in the mirror at yourself, try not to turn away and think about all of these different parts and pieces, or maybe, and then eventually things come like full circle. There were things that I tried. People are like, when you're selling different offerings or classes or anything like that, we constantly want to reinvent the wheel. And like, how can we do it different? How can we maybe even format this in a better way, or that's more appealing or whatever? And so I think that's why you see a lot of things like launch when it comes to classes, education, or growing, personal growth, things like that. And it was kind of funny because 2 years ago, I had developed the Self-Love Club. And I'm just thinking of this now. This is not on my outline of what I'm supposed to follow at all. And 2 years ago, I had kind of come up with the Self-Love Club, and it was basically a group coaching for women. And all these people would say they were interested in it. They were interested in it. This is so great. I can't believe you're doing this. No one signed up. Month after month after month. No one signed up. And then I started thinking about it. And at the time, I wasn't really like a group growth person. I had a lot of work to do on my own. So in a group fashion, it doesn't always work for everyone. Sometimes people like to have that one-on-one individual attention, and they're not comfortable sharing in front of other people. Totally understandable. But I had tried launching that at my empowerment event. That's what it was. It was my empowerment party, which I will be rebooting as well. So I had done that, and in the office that I had this, and I actually have the frame somewhere because I just brought it with me somewhere. But this image that I made was the Self-Love Club and like what the 5-week offering was or whatever. And I had it in a frame like on the window ledge. And I would bring that with me to places. And then here we are. It was about a year later that I actually launched the Self-Love Club. But after that initial reveal in, I guess it was September of 2023, I never really mentioned it again because I was like, it didn't work. But I didn't really want to give up on it. I just kind of put it back, and I'm like, okay, we're not quite there yet. And it wasn't for a year later that I introduced it, and I have this beautiful community. Not everyone participates in the Sunday evening call. There are actually more people in the club that don't participate in the call that do. But I can guarantee you the ones that do participate in that Sunday evening call find so much value in it because they're there to take action and show up. And maybe we're all at different levels. It's like getting a gym membership and not going sometimes, or you just prefer the one-on-one interactions, which is totally fine too. But anyway, so I just wanted to give you that analogy, and then I just took a walk down memory lane. But when we're in that reflection zone after we try something and it doesn't work, that's where we learn the lessons. Remember, I've talked about, and you've probably heard it from other sources too, how we fail forward. We're trying different things. Not everything's going to work. Some things might work. Some things might appeal to some people and not to others. And that's okay. We have this like misconception that we're going to, or maybe it's just like a hope, which is fine too, that we're going to just do this thing. And then, oh my God, people are just going to, stand there handing you cash because they think it's such a great idea. Not everybody has gone through the same path that you have or wants the same things, or maybe they're just still in that contemplation stage and haven't like reached that yet. So it's a really common mindset to possess that you're going to do this thing and people are going to jump on, which again could happen. And then other times, not so much. I think it all depends on your marketing too and what audience you're trying to appeal to. And the marketing thing is something that I continually learn. I don't have a strong background in marketing. When I work with other business owners, they're like, "Oh, but your marketing is amazing." And I'm like, "That is all me, trial and error." I know now what works. I know what people are paying attention to, but I didn't know that a few years ago because I had never had a marketing job before. I did some marketing tasks at previous companies, but I wasn't in marketing. So everything that you see out there on social media or otherwise, I've invented myself, and it's working. Whatever the formula is for that, it's working. And that's that I'm really grateful for. And Stacy, because she's awesome. So let's think about this not in the sales aspect, but as we grow and we're building something lasting, you need to fuel yourself so that you can last too, right? Because we have these unrealistic expectations of hustle and grind. And I was guilty of that too, especially in the beginning, because like I said, I'm a single mom and I don't have anything else to fall back on. So when you have to hustle hard, sometimes you have to hustle hard and do what you can to make it work. That's not to say that you should be running circles in your free time trying to grasp at anything, because I don't think that's how alignment works at all. In fact, I know that's not how alignment works at all. One of the things that I've been doing differently now is coming from a place of patience and clarity. And it's been kind of weird, I have to say. So I've talked about it before and how I have often in these last 6 years since I've been on my own used busyness to get through those alone times. I have my kids most of the time, but on the weekends that I don't have them, I didn't know what to do with myself. I didn't have a strong group of support behind me. When I got divorced, I kind of lost a lot of my friends, and not for any other reason that like it's just different, your couple friends, it's just different. And so I didn't have this strong group of girlfriends. I think I joke about it in my book. Like I thought I envisioned this like Sex in the City, like getting together with girlfriends for brunch on Sundays, which is still a goal of mine, ladies. So I would use that time, especially in the last few years that I've been building my business, 2 years plus, just working, getting things together and organized for my business, updating websites, creating new content, doing all sorts of things, and not taking a lot of time for myself. I would step away, obviously, and I like my flexibility during the week that I can kind of regroup. On Wednesday is typically my day that I try not to schedule a whole lot for, so that I can regroup, catch up, make sure I stay on task and keep moving. And I honor that each week. But what I've been doing the last few months on the weekends that I don't have my kids is not sitting in front of my laptop or my phone all day, which was a challenge because I needed to just kind of let it be. There's only so much you can't. It's a scarcity mindset to think like, I have to keep going. I have to keep going. I have to keep going, because you're not going to attract what it is that you're trying to gain. Obviously, all of us work in different types of fields. So if I'm trying to target business customers or let's think about this, business customers or women that are looking to find themselves again, me, by sitting here going and going and going and going, isn't really attracting that, right? That's not the life that I want to lead. That is for damn sure. I don't want to be busy all the time. I want to be able to enjoy my free time, enjoy my children, enjoy nature, and enjoy life. That's why I wanted to do my own thing. Success to me, my definition of success is freedom. And that comes in so many different facets. But if I'm sitting here tethered to my computer 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, that isn't freedom. So once you start embodying the life that it is that you want to lead, those things start coming to you. And I know that sounds like so out there, but once you start doing that and making that a practice, it really does change everything. And if you had said that to me 2 years ago, I would have been like, I get it. I know. Yes, I'm doing that. I'm taking time for myself. I'm focusing on myself. But there is a certain level like that, like I like doing things. I like going out and taking a walk in the woods or going to a garden center or going, something. I like doing things. This past weekend, I went into it without a plan, basically. And the previous weekends, I did have like a plan here or there. And so when I have a plan or someone to connect with on those long weekends without my kids, it definitely helps. And in the way beginning, I can remember, especially during COVID, because I got divorced and 2 weeks later, everything was shut down. So I was like, shit, this sucks. So on those long weekends without my kids, and you can't really go anywhere or do anything, especially like in the winter time, right? When it was still cold, you're not like outside gardening or anything like that. You're just kind of like stuck. It sucked. It really, really sucked. And I wrote a lot, and I can remember, I'm really vulnerable right now, like putting myself out there, but like sitting at my kitchen table and just writing on a Thursday night. Thursday nights are when I don't have my kids. So there's many blogs that are Thursday night driven, where you're just kind of soul searching and not really sure, what is in store for you. But it's funny, if you've read my book, Is It an Open Bar, which is available on my website, myinnerstruggle.com. Growing through all of those things after divorce, I wouldn't change any of it. Even like the heartbreaking times, I wouldn't change any of it because I wouldn't be here now. And it sounds so cliche, but if you read it and you go through it, and it makes so much sense. I took all of those times to realize like who I was and what I was capable of. And I showed myself the resilience that I possess. And I showed myself how to be more confident. You have to just let go in faith and in yourself that you can achieve these things. So I show up so much differently now than I did before. And I've talked about it recently. I spoke at the Center for Prevention and Counseling a couple weeks ago, and it was a room mostly full of women. And so I decided to talk about self-love specifically, as I've been sort of rebranding, and I changed my company name and stuff like that. I've been like, okay, depending on your audience, what can you speak to that they'll get something out of? So I talked about self-love, and I talked about how I struggled with that for a really, really long time. And I read the intro to my book, and so many people came up to me afterwards, and it was just like, I can so relate. And oh my gosh, I mean, I didn't really think that I had the lack of confidence that I had in myself as a young woman coming into adulthood, and then as a young mother, is astounding. I can't even believe that I was functioning really in certain ways. I never felt like I had anything to offer anyone, and I so don't feel like that anymore. I actually love that someone can come to me and I can help them feel good. That really means a lot to me. So that was a tangent. So it's just really interesting, the different versions of you that show up through the different seasons of your life. And so right now, I think ultimately I am the best version of myself I have ever been. And I'm going to keep working on that. One of the things that I wanted to mention is when you are building a business, building yourself, because the self-love club is not just about building business. Some of us are business owners and some of us are not. We're just building futures. No matter what, at the core of everything is the relationship that you have with yourself. That is the most important, because no matter where you are in life, the relationship with yourself is what ripples out into all of the other relationships in your life, whether it be in business, at work, at your job, the people that you interact with, your relationships, your personal relationships, your romantic relationships, the relationships that you have with your children, your neighbors, everyone. So I know I've said it the last few weeks, who you are is how you lead. And I'm talking about the way you lead your life. It doesn't have to necessarily be in business, but you are the leader in your life. And you have to decide, am I doing a good job? Are there things that I need to kind of address and look at? Am I serving the people in my life with the best version of myself? Am I serving myself with the best version of myself? Those are all critical things in your whole life. When no one is signing up for this offer that you're putting out there, and this closely relates to finding a job too, not just running your own business or trying to promote something, but when you're looking for a job and you put yourself all in on this interview and moving forward and stuff, and then you don't get it and the letdown is huge. It's okay to simmer for a little bit, but you can't stay there too long. You have to get back up and you have to keep moving, because nothing happens when you're down. Nothing's going to happen. I have to give myself, for the past few years, I had to give myself so many fucking pep talks. It's not even funny, because there wasn't anybody behind me going, Laura, you can do this. Laura, you can do this. Get up today. Let's go kick some ass. It was me. It was me saying that to myself. And it's still me saying that to myself. I'm building this beautiful community around me. And that has helped me a lot. But at the end of the day, it is up to you. It's up to you where you go, how far you grow, and where the day takes you. It's time to start taking control. Keep showing up. Keep showing up for yourself, for everyone around you, and keep pouring into yourself. I want you to think about what version you're building of yourself right now. What does that look like? Is it out of desperation? Is it out of expectation? Or is it out of clarity and purpose? What version of yourself are you building right now? So, because no matter what, even if you're not doing anything, you're still doing something. So we'll relate that to a decision. If you're not making a decision, you're making a decision not to make a decision. So each day is going to pass you by. What version of yourself are you building on right now? Is it the best version of you? Is it the most authentic version of you? I want you to think about that. I'm so happy that you joined me today. I hope it wasn't too all over the place. I hope that you got something out of it. If you liked the episode, please do me a favor and like it and share it with a friend that you think that could benefit. Please check out the Self-Love Club and everything else that I have to offer on lauraferry.com. From there, you can seek out My Inner Struggle to grab your copy of Is an Open Bar, or read the blog. Check out all the information there. The Self-Love Club is also, we're always accepting members. So when you're ready to start living your best version and gain confidence through community and connection, we would love to have you. And check out the Growth Leader. If you are in business, thinking about going into business, or want some feedback on anything, shoot me a message. Please like and subscribe wherever you are watching. I am thinking of you and sending you love, and I will see you soon.